Alright, hey gang, it's me, Mrs. Miller in Paradise. It's time for Q&A Thursday. I'm going to be doing it solo tonight. Randy's not feeling well. So I'm just going to do this quick little Q&A. We've got 4 questions and try to kind of keep it simple and quick. But thank you for watching. This is episode number 2. Alright, so let's get started here on our Q&A Thursday. So last week we had some people ask multiple questions and I said we would do those this week. So I'm going to do those first. So Danny in Kansas asked, where would you like to travel most outside of Central Florida? And if you watched our little Labor Day cookout video, you saw the answer to this. My bucket list is an Alaskan cruise. So I really want to go to Alaska, especially on a cruise. Also, I said I wanted to go to Greece and do a Greek Isle cruise, but two of my favorite places to travel that aren't cruises is Gatlinburg, Tennessee and Branson, Missouri. So if I could go to any of those places, I'm going to be super happy. But anyway, so thanks Danny again for those questions. The next came from Bobby in Maryland. And he said, what is your favorite ride in Central Florida? So I have a top 3 and I'm going to go in reverse order. Number 3 is Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure. That is in Islands of Adventure. Fantastic ride. My only problem with it is it's always super crowded and the waits are long, so but it's incredible. Number 2 and number 1 are really close, but number 2 for me is Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom. That ride is beautiful. It's visual, the smells, you truly feel like you're riding on the back of a banshee, and the experience is like none other. So that's number 2. Number 1 for me is Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios. That is my all-time favorite ride. It's one I can get off and go ride it over and over and over. It's just a classic and I love it. So that's my top 3 rides in Central Florida. So thanks again, Bobby, for your question. I'm going to move on to the next one. And this comes from Carrie in Louisiana. And she says, what characters are out for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party? Because that's a huge part of the party is exclusive characters and characters that you don't normally see. That's one of the perks. So I'm going to be looking at my phone and reading the list because there's a really handy dandy little kind of like a little flashcard that I found, and this lists all the characters. But I'm going to go over it real quick. Main Street USA has Jack Skellington and Sally, and then Mickey Mouse, and they're in the Town Square Theater. Adventureland, you can meet Aladdin, Abu, Jasmine, Jafar, Genie, and then Captain Jack Sparrow as well. Frontierland, these are just roaming, so they're not really meet and greets, they just roam around, and that's Liver Lips, Shaker, Wendell, and Big Al. So the country bears from Country Bear Jamboree, and you don't queue up to meet them, they just wander around and intermingle with you. Liberty Square, this is at the Haunted Mansion, so it's in the queue, so you do have to wait in the queue to see them, I believe. But it's Madame Carlotta, Miss Renata, Brom, the butler, and they are hilarious. I've seen them before and they interact with you as you're waiting. They're so funny. So that's really neat. But you're not like queuing up to meet them either. You're just waiting in line to ride Haunted Mansion. Fantasyland, there's a ton. We've got Alice, Mad Hatter, Queen of Hearts, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They're all right there by the Mad Tea Party. Then roaming characters, you have Anastasia and Drizella, the Wicked Stepsisters. Over by the Little Mermaid, you've got Eric and Ariel. Belle is out at the Enchanted Tales with Belle's in that queue. You have Donald Duck, Minnie Mouse, Daisy Duck, and they're in the Dumbo, the Flying Elephant queue. And then Goofy meets by Barnstormer. And they're all in Halloween costumes. So it's not their normal costumes. They're all dressed up and decked out for Halloween. And then you can also meet the 7 Dwarfs. They weren't there last year, but they did return this year. And they're over by Pete's Silly Sideshow. That's over there in back by Dumbo, in that area back over there. And then in the next to the Winnie the Pooh ride, you can meet Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Eeyore, and Piglet, and they are in Halloween costumes as well. And the last one is Stitch in Tomorrowland. And I'm not sure if he's Elvis Stitch this year or not. When we met him before, he was Elvis Stitch, and he was fabulous. So that is all of the characters. If you do that, that could take up your whole party. So I say be particular and pick and choose just your favorites. But thank you so much, Carrie from Louisiana. I know you're coming to the Halloween party, and I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous time. Get lots of candy. All right, the last question is the most detailed, and this was my daughter actually gave me this question. She said she thought it would be helpful for the viewers, so I'm going to answer it. And it is out of Walt Disney World, Universal, and SeaWorld, which annual pass is the best value for the money? So I did my little research last night, and I'm just going to go over prices and things like that, and then kind of just recap it with my opinion. So at Disney World, there's 4 different annual passes. The first one is the cheapest one, but you have to be a Florida resident to get it, and it is only good during the weekdays, and there's lots and lots of blockout dates. But it's $3.99 plus tax, but you do have to be a Florida resident to get that. The next one is the Pirate Pass. You also have to be a Florida resident to get that one. It's $7.49 plus tax. Weekends are included, but it's got some blackout dates too, just not as many as the Pixie Dust. Next is the Sorcerer Pass, which that's the pass that Randy and I have. We upgraded last year because the Pirate Pass to me had too many blackouts for us, so we upgraded. You have to be a Florida resident or DVC members. That's the Disney Vacation Club, and it was $9.69 plus tax. And the only blackout dates, there's a few right at Thanksgiving, and then a few right around Christmas, and that's it. So highly worth it. The last pass is the Incredipass. Now this is the only one, if you live out of state and you're not DVC, you can get, and it's $13.99 plus tax, but there's no blackout dates, period, at all. I'm sorry, I have a little hair on my lip. So anyway, the thing, if you're a Florida resident and you want the Incredipass, you can do it on monthly payments. If you're not Florida resident, you gotta pay for that all up front. Yeah, so that's hard. But here's what it gets. I'll tell you what my monthly payment is. It's $75 a month, but I also have Memory Maker Photo Pass included on mine, so that does make it a little bit more every month. But as much as we go, when you're looking, I know last week I did a mock day to see how much it would cost for a day, and the ticket was like basically $140 for one day. So I'm paying $75 a month, but we probably go multiple times a month, so for us it's worth it. Okay, next, Universal, and I'm going to do non-resident stuff first, and then I'll do Florida resident. Universal has 4 passes as well. And they have 2 park passes that include Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. And then they have 3 park passes that adds on Volcano Bay. Right now, if you're thinking about getting a Universal annual pass, it's a great time because they are giving 3 months free for all annual passes right now. 3 months free. I'm not sure how long they'll keep that special going. It's been going a little bit, but that's a great deal. So I'm going to go over these really quickly. Seasonal is the bottom. It's $424.99. Then you have Power, $474.99. Both of those have lockout dates and no free parking. Oh, I forgot to mention that about the Disney ones. Free parking and 20% off of merchandise and 10% off of most food. So that 20% on the merchandise helps. Back to Universal. So we have the Preferred and we have the 2-park, and we got it because it does have the free parking, and it is $629.99. No, these prices are non-resident. We have Florida resident. And then the Premier, that's the top pass, $904.99. And the biggest benefits with it are you do get 1 free Halloween Horror Night ticket with that, and also you get Express Pass after 4. So that's a pretty good deal. I'm going to go over the 3-park really quickly. Seasonal, $524.99. Power, $584.99. Preferred, $739.99. Premier, $1,094.99. Those were all the ones that included Volcano Bay. But that was non-resident. Now, if you're Florida resident, you can do, they're a good bit cheaper. It looks like they're basically, no, not basically, pretty much are. They're $100 cheaper for the Florida resident. So I'm not going to go over each one. I'll just tell you, like the Preferred, like we have, is $529.99 for the 2-park, and then the 3-park, it is the same thing, but pretty much $100 cheaper if you're a Florida resident. We do have it set up on a monthly payment plan. The way theirs work, you have to put 50% down payment, and then the rest of it they spread out over the 12 months. So my monthly payment for Universal is around $25 roughly. So you know, we did get the one with the free parking. We get early admission. Sometimes there is blockout dates on the early admission, but not too much. So that's nice. You get in an hour early, just like you're staying in the hotel. So for $25, but the thing about the Disney one, we didn't put down a down payment. It just immediately breaks it down and you start your monthly payment. Now, when I was doing my research, it looks like now they've changed it, and you do have to put down a down payment. But it looked like it was the same for all of them. It was like $203 or $205 for those. Anyway, real quick, I'm gonna wrap it up. We've got SeaWorld. Now, SeaWorld has bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. We are silver. It does include free parking. As you go up, the main benefits are you can get preferred parking over regular parking, and you get more free guest tickets. So we get 2 free guest tickets a year with ours. And you also can choose it like a 1-park, 2-park, 3-park, 4-park. We have the 4-park. We have SeaWorld, Aquatica, which is their water park, Busch Gardens, and Adventure Island. That's Busch Gardens water park. So the 4-park passes, bronze is $264. That's silver is $315. Gold is $357, and platinum, I could not get it to pull up. It wouldn't work for me, but they're all basically $100 more. So you pay $100 more and you've got access to 4 parks versus like 1 park. So my SeaWorld annual pass payment is also right around $25 a month. And so, but we do have the free parking, and you get, I'm trying to remember what the pass holder discount is on the merchandise. I think 10%. But the SeaWorld does a lot of annual pass perks every month. They will do what they call Sea-Bucks, which is basically cash, but you have to spend it that day. So last month when I went, I got $15 in Sea-Bucks for free. So they're all the time doing cool pass holder perks. And this month they threw in another free, and they've done it several times, where they'll throw in an extra free guest ticket to get you to bring guests. So as far as which one's the better value, to me they're all good value. Living here and wanting to enjoy a variety of things and not just Disney, I recommend them all. I really do. And they all have different events and, you know, things like that. So if I had to choose just one, it would be Disney for sure, just because that was my main reason for moving here, was Disney. And then Universal would be second and SeaWorld last. But SeaWorld, for the price, you cannot beat it. $315 for 4 parks. That's great. But anyway, that is my 4 questions for this week's Q&A Thursday. I really appreciate you guys submitting the questions. Keep sending those questions. I'll I'll have it in the description box, our email, and you can email, or you can just drop us questions in the comments if you don't feel like sending an email. But thank you again for watching. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. We truly appreciate it. Be sure and check out our YouTube store for our Themillersinparadise merchandise. We also now can accept thanks, so if you feel so inclined, we would truly appreciate it. It would really help the channel out a lot. But thumbs up if you like this video. We sure do appreciate everybody out there. Remember, paradise is a state of mind. We'll see you on the next one for episode 3.